good evening. Tonight, we celebrate the center's 49th anniversary. Wow. 49 years. I used to think that was old. Plus, tonight we're kicking off an entire year of celebrating the center's 50th anniversary, a half-century of service to our community. That's a reason to celebrate. And a year from now, we are going to do it upright. A VIP dinner followed by a fabulous show at the renowned Greek Theater. It'll be a show worthy of this amazing milestone. Believe me, you won't want to miss it, so mark your calendars. And I'm so happy that you didn't miss tonight. Now, since we gathered here last year, our nation has lived through a lot of crazy times. As a result, many clients come to the center confused, frightened, weary, angry. That would also describe almost all of my friends, including my wife. Whether it's navigating the often bizarre news that we see in the headlines or the continuous resistance posts on our Facebook pages, sometimes we just want a break, if only for a few hours, to focus on other more meaningful things, like gathering tonight among friends. You know, our current political reality often feels so overwhelming because things we would never have imagined in this day and age are actually happening. Bald-faced lies about matters big and small from the highest office in the land. National policy by tweet. Foreign policy alliances with murderous dictators. Lauding white supremacists, separating small children from their parents. Such actions defy the imagination. They go against our hopes and dreams for our people, our nation, and our world. No wonder so many people feel stressed out. Defying the imagination is nothing new to the center. We've been doing it for 49 years. But instead of being contrary to our hopes and dreams, your center has fulfilled them. And sometimes our achievements have been things that most people never even dared to believe were possible. But your center has always dared to dream. Reaching for the stars is part of our DNA, as is fighting what is wrong and making it right. No matter how hard the challenge or impossible the dream, we have persevered. Even in our darkest days, we never wavered from our determination to build a better world, not only for LGBT people, but for all of us. Imagine what it must have been like for our founders when they first began providing services. There were no openly LGBT nonprofits when they got started. There were no models of success. There were no laws to protect us from discrimination. Our people were pitied at best, hated and reviled at worst. But the center's founders didn't let that stop them, any more than we who have followed in their footsteps have let it stop us. Envision how difficult it had to be nearly 50 years ago to find ways to help LGBT kids who were kicked out of their homes simply for being who they were. Queer kids who didn't have a mom, like Ariadne Getty. Yet, our founders didn't hesitate. They created liberation houses, leased in their own names, and provided food and shelter to these young people. We still provide those services today, only in far greater numbers, and now we also offer education, employment training and placement, and a clear path to happiness and success. Consider how it felt, some of us will never forget, to suddenly find all of the men you loved falling ill and dying from AIDS while our government did nothing. Your center did not falter. We acted. All while burying too many. We cared for each other, educated, advocated, protested, and in the face of government indifference, we built an unrivaled system of care that still exists to this day, providing life-saving HIV medical and other health services to thousands. And that wasn't the first time we defied our government. In 1971, our founders bravely went to the IRS building in Hollywood, seeking to become the nation's first openly LGBT nonprofit organization. When they denied our request because we were homosexual, we sued. And after 3 years, we won. Almost 20 years later, with the help of many people in this room, we returned to that building and bought it. We proudly draped it in rainbow flags, 3 stories high. Today, we are partners with government at all levels, receiving more than 60 government grants each year. They come to us to do work they cannot succeed in doing themselves. As HIV treatments improved in the US and AIDS was no longer the leading cause of death, we knew we needed a place where we could gather and heal, build community, and celebrate. So again, with the help of many people in this room, we opened the Village at Ed Gould Plaza, including 2 theaters, an art gallery, a cyber center, community meeting rooms, and a courtyard oasis. And today it is home to countless uplifting community events, award-winning productions, the nation's largest trans pride celebration, the senior prom, and a charter high school for LGBT youth. And we didn't stop there. To better serve our community wherever they live, in the last few years, we've opened our clinic in West Hollywood, our Mi Centro location in Boyle Heights, our Trans Wellness Center in Koreatown, acquired the pioneering Triangle Square, and just a few weeks ago, we signed a lease on what will be our newest service center in South Los Angeles. When our relationships or jobs were threatened, like with Prop 22 or Prop 8 or the infamous 1978 Briggs Initiative, which sought to ban LGBT people and anyone who supported our rights from working in the California schools, our center helped lead the opposition. Even when we weathered painful losses, we never gave up. We organized and fought back, and ultimately we overcame prejudice and won. Today, our Policy and Community Building Department continues to fight for the rights and protection of LGBT people, especially school kids. This year, we were instrumental in the selection of LGBT-inclusive textbooks for all California public schools. And we expanded our Out for Safe Schools campaign, where badges we created are worn by teachers, janitors, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, and other school employees to identify themselves as safety zones for LGBTQ kids. Our badges are now worn by more than 170,000 school employees in 18 school districts across the country, including New York City, Boston, Chicago, and even Dallas, Texas. As the world's largest LGBT organization of any kind, your center is often asked for help by other LGBT leaders. We believe it's important to share the wealth of our expertise. So, for more than 10 years, we have been working with our colleagues in China to help build leadership and community capacity there. They do their work against formidable odds, but they don't give up either. If we can help our movement get it right in China, the world will never be the same. Tonight, we are proud and honored to be joined by 15 leaders in the Chinese LGBT community, all from China's largest LGBT organization, run by one of our graduates, P-Flag China. They're all standing in the back. Ni hao. Tong shimen hao. The same year we began our China program, we set our sights on a new aspiration: dramatically increasing services and housing for youth and seniors, and expanding health care to everyone in our community who needs it. We understood this would require a large new location and cost a lot of money, which we quietly began raising, going first to our board of directors. Before we had even announced our plans, this vision piqued the interest of one woman. One evening in 2013, she hosted a dinner party for our board during our annual retreat. When she learned that these remarkable men and women had already committed the extraordinary sum of $4.2 million, she was so inspired that she agreed to match every gift that had been made and any others that were pledged that night. By the end of the evening, we had raised an astonishing $11.9 million. Unprecedented. Since then, her lead gift has grown to $7.27 million, and it is why her name will honor our greatest achievement to date. Scheduled to open next year on April 6th, the Anita Mae Rosenstein campus. Anita, please stand and let us acknowledge you. Thank you, Anita. Anita and another 162 capital campaign donors so far have committed a total of $47 million to this remarkable project. Exponentially more than the greatest capital dollars ever raised by any other LGBT organization. If you are among these capital campaign donors, please stand and let us thank each of you. If you're a donor, please stand. Woohoo! Thank you all. Everybody standing, giving to the center, making this new campus possible. Amazing. There's another team I want to recognize who have been instrumental in making our new campus possible, both by cutting through unbelievable amounts of red tape and finding money for our project. I'm speaking of 4th District Council member David Rue and his staff, especially his indomitable Chief of Staff, Sarah Dussault. Thank you, thank you. We're in the home stretch now, striving to achieve and hopefully exceed our $50 million goal by the time of the ribbon cutting next year. If we do that, we will be mortgage free. So, if you haven't yet committed or haven't done all you really can, I hope you'll step forward and be a part or a greater part of this historic and iconic legacy project and help us retire the mortgage. For 49 years, your center has achieved so much that so many thought was impossible, fulfilling our most spectacular and magnificent ambitions for our people and our organization. What is more spectacular than freedom? What is more magnificent than caring about each other? All of you are a vital part of our center's courageous, resilient, and visionary history. We and all who preceded us are the center, a center that is more than buildings, more than a collection of social services, more than soldiers for equality and justice. We are the stuff that dreams are made of. We are the best that people can be: kind, passionate, generous, hopeful, and hilarious, living our lives honestly and caring for our fellow human beings. We are exactly what the world needs more of right now. Happy anniversary.